Just an elaborate mating ritual.
Poker, and I hardly even knew her. Okay, my old man used to tell me all the time, he once said, if I had one of those between my legs, I'd be a millionaire, boy. But that was a long, long time ago, when all the men worked and all the women had babies and stayed home. But nowadays, women have to work. Yeah, now the women are out there working hard. And the men don't need or want the leftovers anymore. And that poontang ain't worth as much as it used to be. Oh well. I did like the old days better. The children were raised better back then with common sense, and they had a healthy fear of the old man when he got home from work. You better behave yourself. The old man comes home, he's going to kick your ass. Now don't get me started on that. That's a story for another day. Okay, today our story or our analysis is mainly about the Trooper. The Trooper, everybody knows him in the poker world, the man who started the poker vlogs on YouTube probably well over 10 years ago. He came out to Vegas and he was going to show the world what it's like, an honest look at what it's like to grind out the small poker games, and it caught on. Like I said, he was the first one, and now every Tom, Dick, and Harry is playing poker with someone else's money, and they're on YouTube bragging about it. I tell you, it's disgusting how many poker vloggers are out there. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, what the hell is this old man talking about, and you're about ready to turn the video off, don't do it just yet. I tell you why. This could be a very important video, especially if you are a hometown poker champion. You're out there in Cincinnati, Cleveland, down in Florida, and you're beating the game good because the games are good back there. Of course you're going to beat the games. And you're thinking about coming to Vegas to make your bones. Well, don't. I'm giving you a warning. Don't do it. Those days are over. Now, and then secondly, why am I making a video about Trooper anyhow? Because all of his fans are pulling their hair out. They're totally pissed off at the Trooper. What's going on? Well, you see, the Trooper is now trying his hand at advantage slot pet play. Yeah, it's hard to even say that. Advantage slot play. Basically, he's playing the slot machines and trying to make money. Now, some of his fans are pulling for it. I like that one. Some of his fans, anyhow, but most are not, and for good reason. You see, if you found a gold mine, just think about it. If you found a gold mine or a way to beat the casino, would you really go on YouTube and start bragging about it? I hope not, because someone will put a stop to your gold mine. So if you do have an advantage, you don't go out telling the casinos or telling the world, oh, I know, it's good advertisement for the casino. All right. It's definitely a conversation that is cut down the middle. Most people say don't play the slots. I don't want to get into that. Okay, like I said, but here's what I want to get into. Trooper is all in with his slot advantage play. That's what he's going to do. And like I say, his fans are upset with it. And I do get it. The Trooper has not been this excited in over 10 years. It's good to see a life breathed into a fella, especially when you've been in Vegas for 10 years and you've been having your brains knocked out. You know, Vegas can really do that to you. Like I said, if you're thinking about coming to Vegas to play poker, don't. The games are just too bad. They're not good enough, and you're going to get your brains beat in for 10 years, just like the Trooper did. And I get it. Trooper is excited now. That for the first time in 10 years, he's really excited. Poker life is boring. You got no friends. You live in a god-awful desert, 115-degree heat. It's full of third-world riffraff all around you. You're lonely. And this slot play racket is giving Trooper the friends that he needs, the camaraderie, the family unit, blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. But like most people already realize, this is probably going to end badly 99.9% of the time. That's just what happens. History proves that. Let's go into something here about Las Vegas, because, that's what brought Trooper to Las Vegas. The action, the poker, Las Vegas. Everybody gets excited about it. That's why his fans were so interested in him. Can it be done? Well, let's talk about it for a little bit. Chip Reese. Everybody knows who Chip Reese is. He's the guy on the right there, Doyle Brunson's best friend. I think it was Chip that said you need at least 10 years to find out if a guy is good at poker. Think about it. You get all these Tom, Dick, and Harrys to come in. They win a World Series of poker. Yeah, they're set for life with $15 million or whatever. But actually to come out and grind the game out, you need at least 10 years to figure out whether this guy is good or not. But that's in the old days when they had good poker in Las Vegas, Now, poker is and will always be, there'll be ups and downs there. And when Chip Reese and Doyle Brunson teamed up together back in the 1970s, the poker world was juicy. I mean, really juicy, easy money flying around everywhere. The poker games were so easy, and there was so much money flying around that Tony Spilotro and his right-hand man were shaking down poker players at the Dunes in the 1970s, shaking them down. 500 to here, 500 there. You want to play here, you pay us. I mean, the games were good. The houses, think about it, the houses that you lived in, you have to live somewhere, right? You live in a desert. The houses were dirt cheap here in the desert. You could buy a house for $30,000 back then in the desert. Everything was fertile back then. A wise guy could make it somehow. I mean, if you did not make it at poker, if you could be a pit boss. If you didn't have what it takes to be a pit boss, then you could buy a few cheap houses and then rent them out. And later on, you get rich and sell your houses for a big score. Vegas was once a fertile land for the wise guy. It was good back. I got here a little late to the game. I got here in '86. But still, a lot of the wise guys were here. They taught me a lot. I was in the tail end of it. But let me tell you something from someone who knows, and I do know, those fertile days are over in Las Vegas, and all the wise guys know it. I mean, if you're playing poker, you should be somewhere else, Florida, Cleveland, Detroit, anywhere but Vegas. Now, the trooper knows this subconsciously. He knows this. Deep down in his mind, he knows this. His mind is preparing him for that day that he must leave this nightmare, because that's what Las Vegas has turned into. Las Vegas is definitely a nightmare now. And you hear all the stories about, why people are not coming. The tourists are not coming because you have $25 water. You've got resort fees up the ass. The casinos are nickel and diming you so badly that even the tourists don't want to come anymore. And if you don't have tourists, that's how the poker players make their money, right? Poker players take the tourist money. So you can see this death spiral. They call it the death spiral in Las Vegas. I'm here to tell you it's real. I'm here. I see it. Now, these are the facts. I am your reporter on the ground. I'm here in Las Vegas on site telling you the truth. Now, I think most of the time Trooper is telling the truth. Obviously, you can only tell the truth so much to the public, but we'll end this out with something very, very important. Trooper ends his last video. In his last video, he ends the video saying that he might make a video on why people gamble. And he said he's never made that video before because it might be shocking. Yes, it is shocking. When you ever talk to a psychiatrist or you talk to people who really know why do people gamble, it is shocking. And like I said, you're damn right it's going to be, it's probably something that his fans definitely don't want to hear. I mean, the fans are there to watch Trooper. They want to see Trooper walk into a casino, play a little poker, walk out with his head down, say, "Oh, damn, that was a tough game." The people want to see reality. People actually do want to see you sometimes lose. And sometimes they want to see you win, but it's reality. And Trooper gave them that. And God bless him. I've always liked Trooper. I've made quite a few videos about Trooper. I've always tried to stay respectful because Trooper deserves respect, being the first vlogger. But he's not always making the right decisions. Like all of us, we're all human. We're not always making the right decisions. But Trooper, I try to be respectful to him. I do like him. He's a good old boy from the South, and I'm a poker player. He's a poker player, but I do realize it's too tough now in Vegas to play. I got here, like I said, a long time before Trooper did, and the games were beatable. Back in the late 80s, they were beatable. I did well at the Bellagio in the early days when the Bellagio opened up and the California tourists were coming. It's all gone. Trust me, it's all gone, especially after the moneymaker effect. All these young guns are studying the game too much. All these young guns in the games are just too hard. But I'll leave you with this on why people gamble.
I read a theory once that the human intellect was like peacock feathers, just an extravagant display intended to attract a mate. What about literature, a bit of Mozart, William Shakespeare, Michelangelo?